Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into yet another episode of Plug Out. And a lot of time I've been asked this question that Zohaib, it's very easy to motivate deep performers, people who are underperforming, demotivated at work. It's very easy to actually engage them because their performance is not good. So you give them performance targets, blah, blah, blah. So how do you keep high performing team members engaged? How do you keep them hungry for more? How do you actually engage them because they're performing at a very high level? Now, I've been blessed in the past decade that I've been managing a lot of high performing people who had some tremendous skill, and I saw them growing. I saw them constantly being engaged. So the one thing that I've learned is that for high performing people, there's one thing that you need to make sure that you're always giving them tasks that are not related to your day-to-day jobs. Now let's take an example of Ahmed. Now Ahmed is a very top performing sales agent who has been performing exceptionally well over the past 6 months. Now Ahmed no longer has the desire because he's won so many awards in the last 6 months that there's no competition for him because he's so ahead of the race. Now one fine day Ahmed sits with Zohaib and says, okay Zohaib, I need a promotion. Now Zohaib's already written off the budget. He knows nothing happens for the next 6-7 months, and he knows that if he actually doesn't answer this one properly, he might end up losing Ahmed. Now what does Zohaib do? So Zohaib tells Ahmed that, look, there's absolutely no chance of you getting a promotion this year. However, based on your appraisal and based on your recent performances, there is a strong possibility that you'll get promoted next year. Now, next year comes after 6 months. Now, what happens during 6 months? Does Ahmed leave? Does he go work with a competitor? Does he, he starts underperforming? Does he, he stops giving a shit about work? And what happens? So, this is what Zohaib does. Zohaib tells him, look, I know that you've been performing exceptionally well, and I know that we've been rewarding you as well, but now you're looking for a new challenge. So Zohaib shares his 25% or 20% of his responsibilities to him. He tells him that he trusts him to do these things because he sees the potential in him. And then what that does is that excites Ahmed. Now Ahmed is very excited because he's taking his boss's job. He's actually gonna be very, very engaged. And at this stage, Zohaib doesn't need to be threatened. No, what if Ahmed starts performing exceptionally well? What if tomorrow Ahmed is replaced by Zohaib? These are thoughts that come into people's minds. But you got to understand that if your people are growing, that's a very good sign of you doing the right things. So don't be scared of that. Engage them by giving them additional responsibilities, things that you think can actually be passed on to them, where they will learn, they will nurture, and they will become better handlers of things. So the number one thing that you need to do is to make them feel important. So in this 6 months, Ahmed doesn't need to feel rusted or driven out because he's asked for promotion. He's been told that he won't be getting it, but his manager has gained his trust, saying, I trust you a lot. Here's my responsibilities, a few of them. Let's see how you perform. And then in the next meeting, you actually keep a track of those responsibilities that you've given him, and you actually, sit down and have a chat, and you see and you track progress and everything. Now, in this 6 months, if Ahmed smashes all his responsibilities and duties that you had given him, this person's a potential for a next role. It makes your business case much more stronger. So when you're sitting in that appraisal discussion and you actually want to promote Ahmed, you can Zohaib's going to go to his boss and say, look, Ahmed needs to be promoted, and here's why he needs to be promoted, because I gave him additional responsibilities from me. I think he's ready for the next role. So this way, you've actually done the hard work, or you don't need to have a lot of convincing to be done in front of your boss. So that's one way of doing it, right? The other way to actually engage a high-performing person would be to tell them that you are the only reason that your team's performing better. Give them a secondment role. You can actually make them, if they're an agent level, you can probably make them an assistant manager or assistant supervisor or anything. You don't have to necessarily promote them officially, but you can actually put them in the role for a couple of months, 3 months or 4 months, or even in the next 6 months without any pay. What this will do is it will excite them, because it's going to be a new thing, it's going to be a new challenge for them, so it'll excite them. So that's the approach that I've actually taken in the last few years. It's worked really well for me, and I think these are two ways that you can actually engage and motivate your high performers, because you need to secure them. They're assets for you, they're assets for the future of the company. You don't have to lose them to competitors. So make sure that you can either use one of these ways to get them engaged and motivated in their existing roles. I hope it adds value to you, and if you're a manager, if you're a new manager, you can actually start applying these techniques. Good luck. Thank you.